It's that time. Christmas almost here. I don't know how that song goes. Whatever. I only watched it yesterday. Hi, huge movie fanatic Nate, coming at you to continue which I just realized between reviews. This is my the fifth annual review. Like Christmas/holiday movie reviews on this channel. It was like because we started in 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is the 5th December, the 5th holiday season that Huge Movie Fanatics has done. Well, it started with me and Matt, now it's mostly just me, but that's cool. Has done like holiday movie reviews, and that kind of is one of the reasons why I'm not going to do particularly too many. As a matter of fact, I think this is my last one of the entire year. I know, boo-hoo, whatever. Christmas is just like, you can just take it or leave it more like. So anyway, long story short, I just reviewed, if you guys, you can tell in the 2 videos that were uploaded before this one, I just reviewed 2 other Christmas/holiday movies that I didn't really particularly like, one not at all, and the other one not at all very much either. And I thought, well, let's end the Christmas movie reviews with a gosh darn Christmas movie that I actually gosh darn like, gosh darn it, and that would be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Just like the last 2 movies I reviewed, I picked this DVD up. It looks like sometime after August 20th, 2011. Never, had it on VHS, but never had it on DVD, and obviously never wanted to pay any more than $2 for it. So I found the special edition, which of course is anamorphic widescreen and whatever, and got the new goddamn fucking Warner Brothers logo. I hate when they put new logos, it completely, that's a whole video topic actually that I may do someday, which is the replacing of the original, movie studio logo with the newfangled one and shit when they do, DVDs and Blu-rays of older movies. I think that's it's just rewriting history. It's pathetic. But anyway, I'm here to review National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which in my opinion, humble opinion, is the last good National Lampoon's Vacation movie. Obviously, there's another one that came out, I think, in the mid to late 90s, which was Vegas Vacation, which I don't think had anything to do. This was written by John Hughes, and I don't think John Hughes had anything to do with Vegas Vacation. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he did. I think by the time that movie came around, he was kind of disenfranchised with Hollywood and shit, and rightfully so. So I can't remember if John Hughes had, I would imagine he had something to do with European Vacation, but I can't remember. I know he wrote like the first one and this one. I can't remember if he wrote that second one at all, or second one as well. But this, of course, completes what I would regard as, since it's the 3 good ones, the National Lampoon's Vacation trilogy. I think it's too bad that, they did Vegas Vacation. It kind of just, I don't know, whatever. But I saw this with my dad in the theater, first run. Actually, I think it was a second run theater, but we saw this, at any rate, we saw this in the theater. This movie came out in 1989, so maybe we saw it, I don't know what. Long story short, saw it in the theater. My dad was a big, as am I, was a big fan of Chevy Chase and just loved his goofy, particularly the Clark Griswold humor. I think we saw European Vacation in the theater as well. I was too young to see the original Vacation in the theater, but I grew up with, all 3 of these. And my dad was a big fan, as am I, of Chevy Chase, and in particular Clark Griswold. Chevy Chase I just thought was fantastic, and it is kind of a shame that they only made, what I would regard as 3 good Chevy Chase Clark Griswold movies, but at least we got 3 good Chevy Chase Clark Griswold movies. I just rewatched this yesterday, like right after It's a Miracle on 34th Street. Miracle on 34th Street, and I gotta tell you, after watching that, what I regard as just humdrum, just kind of not so great movie, this was a breath of fresh air, like actually entertaining. And I had forgotten, I don't think I'd seen it for a couple of years, and what is it, 97 minutes, and I'd forgotten how, I guess after watching 4 Christmases and Miracle on 34th Street, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation just, is very, very, very entertaining, because it's in my opinion, the most entertaining of the 3. The comedy is just it's chock full of just laughs, comedy, and just, I mean, not greatness in the sense of like Lawrence of Arabia, greatness or anything like that, but just Chevy Chase is right on target in this movie, and Beverly D'Angelo, oh my gosh, she's just so fine in this movie, and that outfit she wears at the end. Oh, oh, oh! Wow. I mean, she's like just, I'm probably older now than she was in this movie, maybe, but wow, she's just fine as hell and whatever. The most annoying thing about this movie, and I remember even when the trailers were out before it came out, I was just like, this is my least favorite Russ and Audrey. I think that the casting for Russ and Audrey are completely lame, and in the trailers, I thought Audrey was Russ, and because she's like, back in the late '80s and shit, it was all metal hair and shit. And I thought Audrey was like a guy in the trail when I saw the trailers. Even watching yeah. I don't like the casting of the kids, Russ and Audrey, in this movie. And by having, I don't know why they picked a Russ that's like half the height of Audrey. It's just, anyway, that's probably my only big complaint about the movie is I don't really like Russ and Audrey. Yeah. That's probably my only real big complaint about the movie. For the very first time since the original, we actually have the return of Randy Quaid and the woman who plays his wife as Eddie and whatever the hell her name is. And we got kids who, of course, we never, that weren't in the first one. And, of course, we don't see the kids that were in the first one. But whatever, it's just you're not going to have, they're grown up. It's a long time since then. And I think these movies, these three vacation movies are supposed to take place in the span of more or less like a year or two. So, I mean, obviously, Russ, you kind of, for Russ and Audrey, you kind of cast people who were like the same age every time, kind of like, like South Park. I mean, there's fucking, 20 seasons and these kids are still in grade school, so that's the dynamic about these movies, which, that's why you have to replace Russ and Audrey, because the actors grow up and you do them, so they're, long story short, I think this is an absolute, just, fantastic, just goofball John Hughes written comedy. I think it's probably one of Chevy Chase's last great classic Chevy Chase performances. I don't know if I can necessarily think of anything that he did after this that really, of course I haven't seen everything he's done after this by any stretch of the imagination, but from what I've seen, this might be the last great Chevy Chase performance of what I regard as, I just love him as Clark Griswold, so I don't really know specifics about it. I mean, every time I watch it, I can remember just certain things in certain ways, certain things my dad reacted to and laughed at, and he had a great time when we originally saw this in the theater, as did I, watching this. And even now, like almost 25, is it 20? Yeah, it's like 26 years later. I still remember certain parts that he responded to and laughed at and stuff like that, and almost, so that's kind of cool. But long story short, at the end of the day, we're going to go with a whopping 3 1/4 stars for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's 3 1/4 stars out of 4 stars. I think it's, it's obviously not an epic, amazing masterwork of cinema, but I think, compared to what the hell they make now, and of course I never have and probably never will see the atrocious, whatever, probably can safely say atrocious vacation movie that came out this year, compared to what they make now, I mean, this is an absolutely delightful, humble little, movie. And like I say, Chevy Chase as Clark W. Griswold is right on target. Beverly D'Angelo as his wife is right on target. And you just wanna, what? Her kids suck. I don't like her kids. Oh, in closing, the other kind of addition to this movie, which is very interesting, is that chick who would go on to be in that TV show with whoever. Well, I think her name's probably on here. Yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus or whatever, and that other guy who played these kind of trendy, new age, just young, whatever, high class couple that live next door, who are constantly getting just fucked up, through just this bumbling of Clark Griswold is really kind of funny, and John Hughes writing in this and is coming up with all this shit that Clark inadvertently does to these people next door is so funny, and it's just like, it's just a cool kind of touch that he just adds to it. Like, he didn't have to have this couple next door, but he just added this for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it's really kind of cool how we see he completely just, not even trying, completely fucks up these people's life or Christmas or month or week or whatever. And I remember, of course, being young and just having gotten into horror movies and Jason and stuff. I appreciated when Clark Griswold came out of the garage with the chainsaw wearing the, whatever, mock hockey mask, and it's like, yeah. So anyway, 3 1/4 stars for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I would regard it as one of the last, of course I haven't seen all the Christmas movies, but one of the last truly kind of great Christmas comedy movies, and I'm surprised they actually didn't do it sooner than they did. But I'm glad they did it before, Chevy Chase kind of lost his spark or whatever happened for whatever reason. So highly recommended. I mean, shoot, maybe next summer I should probably, we haven't reviewed any of the National Lampoon's, like the first 2 movies on this channel at all, and it occurred to me, it just doesn't feel right to do it in December because it's not when you take vacation. I'm just anal that way. So maybe next year, who knows, I can review the other 2 or vacation movies, which are just, like I say, I just grew up with. I mean, it's funny because I like the first and third more than the European. Just always, I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe I just felt uncomfortable about having it take place in all these foreign lands and shit. But anyway, that can wait for that review. I feel like I went on way too long. I humbly apologize. And that's my review of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You can't see the line, can you, Russ? Or whatever the line is. Ha ha ha, funny. She was hot in that scene. And the other one too. It's kind of nippling here, so I'm going to be going. So, thanks for watching.